Good afternoon and welcome to the 2023 Division I Men's Soccer Selection Show. I'm your host, Will Haskett. We had some thrilling conference championship tournaments that really built our appetite this past weekend for what we expect to be an incredible upcoming national tournament. 48 schools hear their names called today, 23 already in via automatic qualification, another 25 getting precious at-large selections. We're just a few days away from opening games with all teams battling to hopefully make it to the College Cup, held in Louisville this year starting on December the 8th. Who makes it to Louisville has a lot to do with the matchups, which we can certainly start to set for you right now. Let's dive into the bracket and unveil our very first team. The top overall seed with a bye to round 2 belongs to Marshall. The Sun Belt champs won another crack at the ultimate title, winning the delayed 2020 championship in the spring of 2021. That team could really score, and so can this one. Entering yesterday, the Herd led the nation in total goals while also still managing a top 10 defense in goals allowed. Matthew Bell's 30 points is top 10 in the nation and includes a team-leading 9 goals this season for a very balanced scoring lineup. Their opponent will come from out west, where San Diego will host an opener. A summer trip to Argentina planted the seeds of connection for this team as the Toreros secured back-to-back WCC titles to get the AQ. They face another AQ in California Baptist, which follows up last year's tournament debut with a WAC title and another trip here in 2023. Missouri State sported the best defense in the Missouri Valley and earned a trip back to the NCAA tournament for the 5th consecutive year. They have Harry Townsend, he's in goal, and ranks 6th in the nation this season in goals against and total shutouts. Omaha will try to break through against that defense, capturing the Summit League title to return to the tournament for the 3rd time in program history and the 1st since the spring tournament of 2021. Winner of that one travels to Stanford, which snags the last seed in the bracket and a coveted first-round bye. The 3 natties in a row from 2015 to 2017 remains the most recent dominant stretch by any program in the country, and this version of the Cardinal led the Pac-12 in both scoring offense and scoring defense. An early season 5-1 win over Georgetown set the tone for what this team is certainly capable of this postseason. All right, moving on to another champion getting a bye, the 9 seed belonging to Clemson. The 2021 champions added a 3rd national title trophy to the case that year, and the Tigers sent some notice to the field this past weekend. An impressive run to the ACC tournament title. Clemson led the conference in total goals this season while also topping all ACC teams in goal differential. To win the deepest conference tournament heading into the biggest postseason tournament, certainly a huge momentum boost. They await a game played at Charlotte. The 49ers claimed the American Athletic title with a 2-1 win over SMU. Brandon Morales was the hero in that one, getting the game winner in the second half, while the defense survived a constant onslaught from the Mustangs. High Point will head to Charlotte for the first-round battle. Congrats to the Panthers on making the tournament for back-to-back seasons for the first time in program history. The Big South champs had to go to PKs against UNC Asheville to get it done, but they had the star power to do it. Tournament most valuable player Seth Antwi had the game-tying goal, while goalie Justin Stewart made 2 saves and penalties to end up clinching it. All right, the champs check in next. Syracuse is at home for round number 1. The reigning champions of the sport survived one of the most thrilling championships we've ever experienced last year, getting a 7-6 PK triumph after a 2-2 showdown with Indiana couldn't be decided in regulation or overtime. Many of the big names from that roster are gone, but not Giorgio Kochevsky, who was the all-tournament team a year ago. He leads the nation in assists this season. Boston earned the first Patriot League tournament title and 8th overall conference tournament title. It's first since winning the America East in 2008. The Terriers' 30 goals are the most since recording 32 back in 2010. Helped by 2-time Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year Griffin Roach and 2-time Goalkeeper of the Year Francesco Montali, BU is holding opponents to just 8.6 shots per game. That's the program's lowest average this century. Winner of that one heads to New Hampshire for the second round. It took double overtime for Bryant to deny the Wildcats the American East title, but an at-large berth brings UNH back to the tourney for a 7th straight season. The Wildcats had the edge 17-10 in shots and 9-4 in corners in that championship game. They want to keep those ratios up. They'll gladly take their chances with those types of numbers in every NCAA tournament matchup. All right, take me home. West Virginia earning the 5 seed, a 16th NCAA tournament berth for a program with a really entertaining and dangerous offense this season. Marcus Caldera and Yutaro Tsukada are 1-2 on this team in goals scored. They also ranked 1-2 in the Sun Belt in goals this season. The duo has combined for over 20 scores this year. Good afternoon to Louisville. Only one team in this bracket can say they can start and finish at home this postseason. That would be the Cardinals if they are to play for a national title in front of their hometown fans. Alex Svetanov may have to be some big moments in goal for this team this year. No keeper in the ACC played more minutes than him, nor did any keeper post more saves per game this season. Dayton will head south for a battle in the opener. The Flyers earned the program's third appearance by conquering the Atlantic 10 and return for the first time since 2015. Vermont, another first-round host. The Catamounts, tournament bound for a third straight season, marking the first time in program history they've accomplished that feat. It came with a nervous wait after losing 2 straight to end the season, but rest easier thanks to a strong strength of schedule and a strong roster. Vaniv Bazidi leads the team in goals and has 4 game winners this year. They welcome the champs from the Metro Atlantic. Ryder comes to town, making the program's 6th NCAA appearance. And the winner of that one heads to UCF for the second round. The Knights enter as one of the more motivated programs in this entire bracket. UCF outshot South Carolina in the Sun Belt Tournament opener by a wide margin, 28-11. But it's soccer for you. The only thing that matters are the shots that find the back of the net. They would lose that game. The Knights' first season in the conference led to a top overall seed, but the early postseason exit has this team hungry to get back on the pitch and find some quick success. UCLA is next, survived another strong season in the Pac-12 to earn the AQ and the program's 48th NCAA appearance. Bruins' last of their 4 national titles came in 2002, so it's easy to say this program is due. Jack Sarkos leads the team in goals this season. They scout a game being played at LMU, where Massimo Pomponi leads the WCC in shutouts and total saves this season. He'll defend against Big West champs UC Irvine, which returns to the tournament for the first time since 2018. A tough test of a season allowed Pittsburgh's resume to shine through and earn the Panthers a 5th straight tournament berth. Pitt made a semifinal run last year before falling to Indiana, so this team knows what it takes come tournament time, and they will face a team likely sweating it out as well today. But we can let the Dukes celebrate now. Hello to James Madison. Back in the tournament for the first time since that delayed 2020 bracket. JMU had won 4 straight before a quarterfinal loss in the Sun Belt tournament. That streak likely enough to earn this team an at-large selection. And the winner of that one gets powerhouse Georgetown in the second round. The 2019 national champions have maintained status as one of the most consistent programs in the entire country. The Hoyas enter off a 4th consecutive Big East regular season championship, where head coach Brian Weiss became the winningest coach in program history this season. The awards in the Big East pile up as well. Big East Defensive Player of the Year, that was Kenny Nielsen. Big East Co-Midfielder of the Year, Marlon Tabora, and Big East Goalkeeper of the Year, Ryan Shawy, and the Big East Coaching Staff of the Year, all of the postseason awards for the Hoyas. All right, we are halfway done. 24 teams announced, 24 still waiting to hear their names and find out where they are headed. We break for just a second, but we'll be right back with our Division I Men's Soccer Selection Show.
If you're not here for Fandom 101, you're in the wrong class. Here, we learn the fundamentals of fanology, the basics of bringing the noise, and the physics of bringing it out. Your path to fan mastery begins here. It's all part of the curriculum. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Welcome back to the 2023 Division I Men's Soccer Selection Show. 24 teams in, another 24 teams still awaiting their names and their opening round matchups. We dive right back into the bracket. The 3rd overall seed, and that belongs to North Carolina. 2001 and 2011 live in Tar Heel lore for the national championships. This year's team will lean on the ACC's top defense to try and slow down all opponents in pursuit of a title. North Carolina's .624 goals against, ranked top 3 in the nation as well. Top keeper Andrew Cordes is even better, giving up just half a goal per game, which led all ACC goalies and ranks 2nd in the nation. His 88% save percentage is 2nd best in the country as well. Memphis follows up a strong 2022 season with another one here in 2023, earning back-to-back tournament berths for the first time in program history and hosting duties against SIU Edwardsville. First appearance for the Cougars since 2016 and coming with an unbeaten record after capturing the Ohio Valley Crown with a 1-0 shutout. Ignacio Poe scored the game's only goal, fresh off netting 2 in the semifinals as well to carry his team to the title. Nacho, the most accurate striker in the conference, will look to stay hot as the postseason continues. All right, from one sterling record to another, Bryant has been phenomenal this year, and what a debut for head coach Ruben Resendez in his first season with the Bulldogs. The record reflects the best season in program history. Forward Mark Pitarch led the American East and in scoring and points, breaking the program's single-season record for both. The team has consistently led the nation in goals against average, shutout, save percentage, goal differential, and win-loss percentage. Opponents are scoring only a quarter of a goal per game on average. It has been an absolutely incredible season for this team. Yale earns the Ivy League's automatic berth and a trip back to the tournament for the 8th time in a matchup with Bryant in round number 1. Hofstra waiting in the wings in the second round, making its 3rd consecutive NCAA championship appearance. Ryan Carmichael is currently the leading active scorer in Division I men's soccer with over 40 goals and over 100 points. Meanwhile, Elliot Goldthorpe was the CAA Player of the Year, approaching 30 points on the season. Richard Nuttall has been the head coach for 35 years, 14th among active head coaches with over 330 victories in his incredible career. All right, another seeded bye belongs to Portland. Wow, can the Pilots really fly this season? Top offense in the West Coast Conference, was also 3rd in the nation in goals and 2nd in assists. Add it all up, and the 9 points per game was better than any team this year in the nation. Portland has the firepower to make life very difficult on any opponent that they match up with in this NCAA tournament. Oregon State turned heads this season to make a 4th straight tournament. Logan Farrington, a player to watch this tournament, leading the very strong Pac-12 this year in goals scored. His 11 goals paced the team, while his 26 points were also a conference best. As long as he is on the field, you know he will be active in this offense. His activity will be tested by Seattle. The Redhawks keep a very unique streak alive, making their 6th tournament appearance, all in odd years, dating back to 2013. This year's team led the WAC in scoring, also ranking top 10 in the country in goals per game. James Morris, the spark plug of the offense, 10 goals this season and a WAC leading 27 points this year. We stay out west where Denver will be a first-round host. The Pioneers went 7 rounds of penalties after a 3-3 tie in the Summit League semifinals and lost in the most heartbreaking of ways. However, the strength of schedule this season could not be denied, sporting an 8-match unbeaten streak entering this tournament. They also had a big non-conference win over SMU. LIU represents the Northeast Conference again, heading to the tournament for a 17th time in the program's very rich soccer history. The winner heads to the aforementioned SMU, so a possible rematch with Denver looms in round number 2 from earlier this season. Only Penn State has as many tournament appearances without a title, as this marks the Mustangs' 36th NCAA berth in the NCAA tournament. Top defense in the American, SMU is top 10 in the nation in goals against and total shutouts this season. Cole Johnson is in goal at the back end of that defense, while Jeldrick Dahlman leads the team with 14 goals this season, ranking him in the top 5 in the country. A well-earned bye for Virginia, one of the blue blood programs in the sport, returning for a 43rd time. The 7-time national champs flex some solid defense in the ACC all season, headlined by keeper Joey Petruni, who was 2nd in the conference in save percentage. His 84% stop rate was also top 10 in the nation this year. FIU is back for another crack at the title they came so close to back in 1996. No current player probably has memories of that one, of course, but new memories could emerge for this squad with some good breaks at the right time. The offensive catalyst is Eduardo Mustre, who led the team in conferences in shots and accuracy while netting 11 this season. They open against Mercer. The Southern Conference champions earn the AQ here in a date with FIU. Indiana opens at home. What a recent run it's been for the Hoosiers. Perhaps a bubble team a month ago. The Hoosiers are Big Ten champs again after a 1-0 win over Penn State. That was the Hoosiers' 9th win in their last 10 games. JT Harms posted another shutout in goal. The transfer has been great all season. Indiana has been runner-up in 3 of the last 6 NCAA tournaments. They're still seeking their 9th national title. Lipscomb returns for a 3rd straight year after a triumph in the Atlantic Sun, and they'll head to Bloomington. And the winner of this one heads to Wake Forest. The 2007 national champions have had rosters in recent years that probably expected maybe a second title. So what will make this team the one to get it done? It's the balance of this roster. In the deepest conference in the country, the Deacons were top 5 in scoring offense and defense this season. With their name called today, it's the 13th straight tournament berth, by far the longest streak in the ACC. Staying in conference, Duke getting a first-round bye. Beware of the very aggressive Blue Devils. Against a stout ACC schedule, Duke led the conference in goals per game this season, thanks to an active offense that led the nation in shots per game and shots on goal per game as well. Beware for opposing defenses, because this team is attacking as soon as it gets off the bus. It's a possible massive matchup looms with Western Michigan, who's up next here on our Unveil. The Missouri Valley champions have one of the most dynamic players in the nation. Charlie Sharp's 15 goals was tied for most in the nation. 38 points are more than any other player in the country this season. 159 points for this team is also best of any program in the NCAA Division I. Green Bay attempts to slow down that offense. Horizon League champions, tournament bound and back for the first time since 2009. Xavier is in thanks to a PK showdown with Georgetown in the Big East Championship to secure the berth for the first time since 2014 and eliminate any potential bubble nerves of watching today. And they will face a team that has to be getting pretty nervous by now, but we can hand out a bid to Kentucky. The Wildcats keep a streak alive. It is their 6th straight tournament berth as they earn a precious at-large selection. And we round it all out with a number 2 overall seed that belongs to Notre Dame. The Irish are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of their lone national title this season. The team lost just once all year, while that team lost just once all year. This year's squad has 2 losses, I should say. Most recently, a stunner in the ACC quarterfinals that had the Irish waiting longer than they wanted to for the show today. Still reward with the number 2 overall seed. More than half of the games this season have been shutouts for the defense. Brian Dowd posting stellar numbers in between the posts this year. He and the Irish defense can carry this team back to the top as they seek another national title. All right, there you have it. All 48 teams still alive in pursuit of a national championship. The road to Louisville begins this Thursday with the 16 first-round matchups we just announced. Just keep winning, and 4 teams will find themselves in the College Cup, beginning with the national semifinals on December 8th, the championship on December 11th. Those games at the Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky, and they'll be broadcast on ESPNU. Of course, we would love to have you there in person or at any other matchup throughout the course of this championship, but if you can't make it, make sure you follow along with the results here on NCAA.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Will Haskett. Congratulations and best of luck to all the student athletes competing in this year's championship.
If you're not here for Fandom 101, you're in the wrong class. Here, we learn the fundamentals of fanology, the basics of bringing the noise, and the physics of bringing it out. Your path to fan mastery begins here. It's all part of the curriculum. The NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.